When I was 4 years old, I decided that I wanted to be an astronaut. My grandfather died when I was 5, and I didn't know what death meant yet. So I sat on my mother's lap on the front porch while she explained to me that death was just another word for the way that the seasons move. I pictured my grandfather at church like on Sunday mornings. He hugged me and said goodbye, and it didn't feel like I was losing him. He didn't say goodbye at the funeral. The drunk driver never said sorry to my grandmother. I stood there in my green dress and waited for that word for 13 years. On the drive home from the funeral, I just kept thinking forever and ever and ever and ever and ever until I stopped breathing and started falling. When I was 4 years old, I wanted to be an astronaut. When I was 5, I got vertigo from jumping rope on the pavement. I pulled out my hair when I went to kindergarten. I sat alone on the playground because I was too afraid to talk to any of the other kids. We moved when I was 7. And by the time I turned 8, I was diagnosed with an anxiety disorder. When I was little, I looked at pictures in astronomy magazines and hung glowing stars on my ceiling. Each one was like the North Star guiding me back home. But my new bedroom doesn't have the Milky Way painted on the walls. I am not 4 years old anymore, and I know that I will never be an astronaut. I can barely hold a normal conversation without wanting to peel away my own skin. The idea of being weightless is terrifying. I have been grounded into this earth by 18 years worth of not understanding. There is nothing beautiful in wanting to destroy yourself. There is nothing poetic in trying to scratch off my insecurities, as if my body has no meaning of thinking that if I bruise, it means I'm breathing. I have bitten my nails until they bled. I couldn't stop crying on the first day of 3rd grade. I proofread every text message at least 10 times before I press send. I get into the correct lane at least 2 miles before turning. I practice breathing. In for 7 seconds and out for 11 before I raise my hand in class. There are fault lines in my fingertips with earthquakes that shake without warning, and sometimes it feels like there are nails scraping against chalkboard down my entire body. I have watched as the people I love walk fearlessly into the future and leave me behind because I could not get out of bed in the morning. I feel like a heavy weight suspended in zero gravity, and I cannot for the life of me get my feet to touch the ground again. I was so scared for so long that I stopped living, and I want to live again. I want to be able to make a phone call without compulsively going through the conversation in my head, to be able to walk in public without wanting to disappear, to have the confidence and the courage to love myself. And every time I have a panic attack, I remember being 4 years old and driving home from my grandfather's funeral thinking forever and ever and ever. And I am tired of being afraid of eternity, so I'll reach for it, like I used to reach for the stars before I was afraid of falling.